I thought that was it. I thought that the bank statement was the big reveal, that all the distance, all the frustration, all the late nights had just been her way of teaching me discipline. And honestly, I was already trying to process that. But then she said something that completely threw me off. This wasn't a part of the plan. I frowned. What do you mean? She hesitated. And I didn't think I had ever seen my mom hesitate like that before. There's something else, she said quietly. My heart was beating fast. Something about her tone felt heavier than everything we had just talked about. She reached into the envelope again and pulled out another. Smaller, sealed. My name was written on it. But not in her handwriting. I froze. Whose handwriting is that? I asked. She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she just looked at me and said, Your father's. I swear my brain just stopped. My what? We need to talk, she said. I stared at the envelope like it was going to explode in my hands, because my mom never talked about my dad. Ever. Anytime I asked growing up, she would brush it off, or change the subject, or say, we'll talk about it another time. We never did. So now this, after 18 years, you said he lived, I said slowly. Her face tightened. I said a lot of things to avoid this conversation. My chest started to feel tight again. Why now? She looked down at her hands. Because I couldn't keep it from you forever. I swallowed hard before opening the envelope. Inside was a folded letter and a small hard drive. My hands were already shaking. Read it, she said softly. So I did. The handwriting was neat, careful, almost like whoever wrote it knew it would be read over and over again. If you're reading this, it means your mother finally told you a truth. At least part of it. My heart started pounding. I'm your father, and I'm sorry I wasn't there to tell you myself. I had to pause just for a second, because seeing it written like that made it real in a way it had never been before. I kept going. By the time we read this, I'll be gone. I was diagnosed with terminal cancer before you were even born. My breath caught. I looked up at my mom, but she just nodded for me to continue. There are a lot of things about your existence that are complicated, and not all of them are easy to hear. My stomach twisted. I was married when I met your mother. I froze, slowly looked up again. She didn't look away this time. She just let me feel it. What we did wasn't right. I won't lie to you about that, but I also won't lie about this. I loved her. Deeply. Completely. In a way I didn't understand until it was too late. My grip tightened on the paper. My family. They come from money. Old money. The kind that comes with expectations. I was supposed to marry within our circle, and I did. I exhaled shakily. But I never stopped seeing your mother. The room felt smaller, quieter, heavier. When I found out that she was pregnant with you, it changed everything. I blinked hard, trying to keep reading. Around the same time, I discovered something else. The children I had in my marriage weren't mine. My eyes widened. What? I whispered. My mom closed her eyes briefly, like she relived that moment 1,000 times. I looked back down at the letter. I won't go into details, just know that it broke something in me, and it made something very clear. You are my only biological child. I couldn't process that fully. I made a decision then. One, my family would never accept. I arranged for everything I own to go to you. My hands went cold. Everything? My estate, my shares in the company, everything in my name. I looked up again, completely stunned. My mom spoke this time. Finish it, so I did. By the time you receive this, it should be all legally transferred. Your mother will have the details. I know this doesn't make up for my absence, but I wanted you to have what was always yours. And I wanted you to know that you were never a mistake. You were the only thing in my life that ever felt truly mine. I couldn't read anymore. My vision blurred as tears filled my eyes. What? What is he talking about? I asked, my voice barely steady. My mom took a deep breath. The estate, she said. The company. All of it. How much is all of it? I asked. She hesitated, then said it. Roughly 20 million. I actually laughed. Not because it was funny, because it didn't feel real. 20 million what? I asked. Dollars. Silence. Complete silence. I looked down at the hard drive still sitting in my lap. What's on this? Her voice softened. A video. I stared at it for a long moment before standing up, walking to my laptop. My hands felt numb as I plugged it in. There was only one file. I clicked on it. The screen lit up, and there he was, a man I had never seen before, but somehow recognized instantly. Same eyes, same expression. He looked tired, pale, but he was smiling. Hey, he said softly, and just like that, I broke.